Soul has 6 different ways of inflicting damage on you. All 6 are avoidable, making Soul a no damage boss. 2 of which are his basic AoE attacks, 2 are arena hazards, and 2 are special attacks. Now if you have taken modifiers such as Reentry 2 or 3, Quartet, Bees, Solar Flare, Totemic, or Volatility, then expect those to be integrated into every phase of the Soul fight. However, the only modifiers that don't trigger until phase 4 is Totemic and then Volatility after Soul is defeated. So Soul is broken into 5 phases, and then the Enraged phase. You can tell when a new phase is beginning when Soul drops Molten Sand into the arena. Phase 1 is essentially just a movement check. Soul only uses his 4 basic AoE attacks and all 4 are dodgeable. He has 2 spear attacks and 2 shield attacks. Spear 1 you step back 1 tile, and Spear 2 you step back 1 tile diagonally. Shield 1 you step back 1 tile, and Shield 2 you step back 2 tiles. This pattern is predictable. If he uses the same style twice, then the second one is always the alternate version. So if he switches styles, the pattern will reset. Soul never forgets his most recent attack style, even through phase changes, unless a special attack takes place, but that won't happen in phase 1. Take this time to get familiar with the AoE attacks and just practice as much as possible. Now phase 2 begins at 90% health. Phase 2 introduces a special attack and an arena hazard known as Molten Sand, which stays for the rest of the fight. The big new mechanic here is the triple attack. Soul charges up and hits 3 times, each 3 ticks apart, and you have to flick Protect from melee tick perfectly. If you turn prey on early, it drops and you'll end up getting hit. Phase 2 also adds the first Crystal Light Beam, which is a crystal on the edge of the arena that fires a beam that is very punishing, and a new crystal will be added every phase, stacking up to 4 crystals. The triple special attack is the hard hitter in this phase. I highly recommend practicing this as much as possible in the Colosseum, because it can be very punishing in later phases. So phase 3 begins at 75% health. More Molten Sand and another crystal will be added at the very beginning. Soul will also now attack 1 tick faster. The big addition is a new special attack called Grapple. Soul will shout a body part in which you have 4 ticks to open your gear tab and click on the item of gear that Soul says. If you click 1 tick late, you take damage. If you click on the 4th tick perfectly, then your next attack gets boosted damage. Again, this just builds on the fundamentals of what you've already learned in their previous phases. The new special attack Grapple is very easy to deal with. I recommend to turn on your audio and you will hear him shout out which item of gear you should click. I'll break your back. Phase 4 begins at 50% health with more Molten Sand and another crystal added at the very beginning. The only real change here is that Soul's triple attack gets a little trickier. The final hit is delayed by 1 extra tick to catch you off guard. Again, this is just working on what you've already learned, but timing that delayed last hit on that triple special attack is very important. Phase 5 begins at 25% health. Phase 5 begins with another Molten Sand drop and the 4th and final Crystal Light Beam. Nothing changes here and nothing is added. Everything from prior phases still apply though. Now for the Enraged phase, which begins at 10% health. Soul instantly drops 5 more Molten Sand tiles, and from this point on he spawns 1 new sand tile every 3 ticks. Light beams also fire much faster and you only get 2 ticks to react if 1 targets your tile. The Enraged phase is where you should be dumping your specs and focusing on remembering the AoE attack patterns most of all. Now just as a reminder, if you have the Volatility modifier active, then run to the edge of the room to avoid the explosion. If not, congrats on getting your Quiver and hope you enjoyed.